Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Carmine Sabia for Explain America, and former Fox News host Megyn Kelly has gone off. Before we get started, please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Those little things really help us out, and they help our channel continue to grow. And if you're not watching us on YouTube, please check that address in the lower right-hand corner. It's youtube.com/@explainamerica. And when you get there, please hit subscribe absolutely free. It really helps us out. Megyn Kelly finds it as hilarious as I find it that suddenly all these people that said all these negative things about Donald Trump, they want to meet with him. They want to break bread. They want to come to an understanding. They're afraid. They're afraid of retribution. They're afraid of their ratings. They're afraid of the lies they've peddled against this man and maybe being sued or being criminally prosecuted for blatantly lying about this man and the Republican Party. No, payback is coming to Washington, D.C. Vengeance, the Vengeance Tour is coming to Washington, D.C. And people know that it's time to pay the piper. That's what's going on. Megyn Kelly sees it. Nikki Haley sees it. I see it. You see it. We all see it. Well, Megyn Kelly watched. She watched Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski, two of the worst TDS suffering offenders in the media today, every morning for 4 years on their network, 8 years on their network, bashing this man, calling him all kinds of names, insinuating he's like a certain German dictator from the 1930s and 40s. And now they go to meet with him at Mar-a-Lago. Well, Megyn Kelly has a very simple message for him, and I'll tell you this. If you're sensitive to adult language, you may want to stop watching right here because I'm going to show you the video, and then I want you to tell me what you think in the comments.
This will be a consequential presidency. The question is whether it will be constructive. As for us, we also let him know that we will continue to speak truth to power and push back hard when called for.
Oh, please.
As we have with all presidents.
Don't be mistaken. We're not here to defend or normalize Donald Trump. We're here to report on him.
I searched for a way to respond appropriately, and I called on my 10 years as a litigator in addition to my now 20 as a journalist, and I think I found the perfect phrase: go fuck yourselves. Go fuck yourselves, you dishonest jokes of faux journalists. What an absurd farce that was, Glenn. Which one was insincere? He's Hitler, or now we're going to speak truth to power and find a way of speaking to and working with Donald Trump? Which one was a lie?
You know, Megyn, I've thought about this. This is not hyperbole. I've given actual thought to this. I've done rankings. Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski are the most humiliated and pathetic people in all of corporate media. And I realize there's a lot of serious contenders for that crown. So if other people have someone they want to slot in number one, I wouldn't necessarily say it's unreasonable. But the thing about them is, unlike other people in the media who have been completely unhinged about Trump being Hitler, Trump being in bed with Putin, the Steele dot, all of that, those people actually believe it. Like, they're that insane. Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski don't believe in anything other than their own career and their own ratings. Remember, Joe Scarborough was elected in the mid-1990s as part of that Newt Gingrich counter-revolution that was supposed to be this far-right contract with America. Then he gets on MSNBC. He continues doing that until MSNBC demanded full-on anti-Trump hysteria. But in the 2015 and 2016 election, you were the one to point this out actually very well. Nobody did more to promote Donald Trump in the Republican primary than those two. They would allow him to call into their show and did it constantly. No other candidate. Why? Because it was the only thing that got ratings. He saved all of their jobs. Then once he got elected, calling him Hitler, calling him all of this, that became the way you get ratings, and then doing that through the campaign. But now that Hitler has returned to power, the first thing they do is tuck their tails and fly to Mar-a-Lago and not even interview him, meet with him privately and personally, and then justify it with this journalistic veneer. It is so repulsive. And the reason for it, as you know, is that MSNBC's ratings haven't just declined precipitously since Kamala lost. They basically have disappeared. There's
They've
nobody
gone.
watching that network anymore for so many reasons. And they obviously have calculated that the one thing that can save their jobs again is reestablishing a relationship with the fascist dictator, Donald Trump, in order to get him back on their show, knowing that's the only thing that people will want to watch. It's so opportunistic and careerist. I have so much more respect for the insane people on that network who at least believe what they're saying.
Me too. Me too. I totally agree with you. I never thought I'd utter these words, but I agree with Keith Olbermann. Keith Olbermann's reaction is my reaction, at least in part. He says, in part, I told you so. These two are Trump collaborators, not a word. Mr. and Mrs. Vichy Quisling, suggesting that they're Nazi sympathizers, say can ever be trusted again. This is the part where I agree with him. Not that those words ever should have been trusted. They are confidence tricksters and grifters. That's exactly right. They're grifters. These two, yes, worked day and night to try to get Trump the nomination back in 2015-16. They embarrassed themselves and sacrificed any pretense of journalistic ethics in doing it. It was true bootlicking. I'll just give you a little feel for it in Satse.